Hello, hello, hello. We are now live on YouTube. I want to make sure you all can see me. So, I wanted to come on to talk about how to have the PPP, the Paychecks Protection Program, forgiven. How to have the Paychecks Protection Program forgiven. That's what we're going to discuss today. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with me, for those of you that are watching a replay, if you have any questions or any comments, definitely put those in the comments area below and I will answer your questions. I am Octavia Connor. I am the CEO of Say Yes to Profits, which is a virtual accounting firm that helps businesses have more money than they even know what to do with it, pay little to nothing in taxes, and scale their company faster. And today, again, I want to discuss how to have the PPP, the Paychecks Protection Program, forgiven. Now, I must say a disclaimer before I get into my content today. This is for informational purposes only. So be sure to speak with your accountant or business advisors for the steps that you should take as it relates to your business. That is highly, highly important. Okay. Here's the thing. In regards to the Paychecks Protection Program, the second round launched on April 27th. The first round actually went extremely fast, and a lot of the larger corporations received the funds. What ended up happening is that several of them actually gave the money back. Now, this second round that's going on at this time is for smaller businesses like you and I. Some of the larger corporations still qualify as a small business, and that's why they receive the funds the first time. However, again, this second time is really laser focused and tailored towards smaller businesses. Here's the thing. I have seen at least one federal case so far of fraud as it relates to the PPP. And because of that, and because of there are a lot of questions and concerns out there, many small businesses are trying to determine if they should accept it, apply for it, and if they've already received it, if they should keep it. Now, if you have already accepted it, you actually have until May 14th to withdraw or repay the money back and be in good faith standings. So you have time to think about it and determine if you actually qualify for the Paychecks Protection Program funds. Now, the loan itself can be used for four things. Number one, payroll costs, including benefits. Number two, interest on mortgage applications. Interest on mortgage obligations, incurred before February 15th of 2020. It can also be used on rent under a lease agreement that was in place before February 15th of 2020. And the last thing on utilities, which were in service before February 15th of 2020. So those are the four ways that you can use the Paychecks Protection Program. Now, how can the loan be forgiven? Here's the thing. You will owe money when your loan is due if you use the loan amount for anything other than payroll costs, mortgage interest, rent, utility payments that are over the course of 8 weeks after receiving the loan. You also must not use more than 25% of the loan amount on anything outside of your payroll, okay? So 75% of the total amount you receive should be used only on your payroll. And you want to make sure that 25% of that is used on non-payroll costs, but not more than 25%, all right? You will also owe money if you do not maintain your staff and payroll. So there are three things you want to keep in mind when thinking about maintaining your staff or payroll. Number one, number of staff. Your loan forgiveness will be reduced if you decrease your full-time employee headcount. Number 2, level of payroll. Your loan forgiveness will be reduced if you decrease salaries and wages by more than 25% for any employee that made less than $100,000 and annualized in 2019. Annualized salary and wages in 2019. And the third way, rehiring. Now you have until June 30th of 2020 to restore your full-time employment and salary levels for any changes made between February 15th and April 26th of 2020. All right. Now, how can you request the loan to be forgiven? Well, whomever you receive the loan from, you must request from them for the loan to be forgiven. Now, when you make that request, you have to then submit documents that verify the number of full-time equivalent employees and their pay rates, as well as the payments of eligible mortgage, lease, rent, and utility obligations. You have to submit the supportive documents that support everything that you've spent the money on for the Paycheck Protection Program funds within the 8 weeks after receiving it, okay? You must certify that the documentations are true and that you use the forgiveness amount to keep your employees and to make eligible mortgage interest, rent, and utility payments. Once you submit that information, your lenders have up to 60 days to state whether they're going to forgive a portion or all of the Paycheck Protection Funds. They have within 60 days to give you their decision. Now, there are a couple of key things I want you to remember. If you have independent contractors, they cannot be paid with the money you receive from the Paycheck Protection Program. They cannot. I also recommend that you use a separate checking account specifically for your payroll that can track any funds from the Paycheck Protection Program. That is highly recommended because then you can take the information from that checking account. You can take all of your source documents, and when it's time to request for your loan to be forgiven, you can then send in all of that information. Okay? Now, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel to receive updates. If you do not have an accountant that can help you with this, definitely contact Say Yes to Profits. We would love to chat with you. Also, make sure you like and subscribe and share this video. All right? So until next time, leave your questions and comments below and make sure that you say yes to profits. Toodles.